Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson, this is Full Time Devils, it's the Sevilla preview and I am joined by Adam McKola, Statman Daddy and Ben Pearce has joined us. It's been a long time, Ben. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Are you on parole still?
John Shin's been favoured. That's what's been happening. So, no, it's all good. Got the call this morning.
That's because
so,
John Shin's awesome though.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't live up to John's. I've got big boots to fill, although he's a size 6 and I'm a size 11.
John's massive, mate. Don't let the camera confuse you. He's enormous. He's a big dude.
No, let's say about big feet.
But, big socks and shoes.
Yeah.
David, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, mate. After that result, I feel so happy. Every day I wake up like, we just beat Liverpool 2-1 in the Premier League. That was sick.
It's only been 2 days.
Dave said sick again. Oh my god.
Down with it, kids.
Adam, how are you doing, our kid?
He's come out of that Liverpool game like I don't know. He's just come out of there like a little 13-year-old boy. I don't know what happened to David there. But,
I don't know what's going on here with Ben. I think we've got to unlock his character the way that's going on. Shut the blinds behind you, you maniac. Silhouette rules 101. Look at that. Yeah, so we need up, down, left, right, Konami code, and we'll unlock Ben. Right, we are going to be talking about the Sevilla game, but before we do, I want to be talking to you lot about a little fella called Marcus Rashford. I think he gave Jose Mourinho some problems and some things to think about. We've got 3 players, arguably more, that are going for that sort of left-hand side spot or the second striker spot or even 2 up top spot alongside Martial and Sanchez to partner Romelu Lukaku. Has Marcus Rashford given Jose Mourinho a lot of thinking? Ben, seeing as though we've not had you on for so long and we've just unlocked your character, let's talk to you first. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, sorry, lads. It was good, wasn't it? It was good to see him using his best attributes, and he down that left-hand side against Alexander-Arnold exposed him on more than a few occasions. I think what was great was seeing someone run off of Lukaku. He's a big guy. He's always going to win that ball in the air. He's always going to cause trouble for any defenders. I don't think there is one defender that can match him through strength and size. I think he's got that over any defender. So what would be great was to see more players running off him. We wanted Martial to do it more, but cuts inside a bit too much. Rashford, every single time, was looking to run beyond Trent Alexander-Arnold and in behind the space that Lukaku was leaving. So that was really nice to see. 2 good goals as well. And, when he's scoring, you don't want to drop him, do you? So for me, it would be one of the first names on the team sheet for Tuesday.
Dave, I'm going to come to you next, and I'm going to say to you, I'm not going to ask you for your full starting 11, but do you think there's a chance that Jose Mourinho knocks him out of the starting 11 now and puts him back on the bench, or do you think he's going to have him in that starting 11 and on a more regular basis because he's showing up and he's earning it, if anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. You look at the form at the start of the season, it was us, Marcus Rashford, starting on that left wing with Lukaku, and it worked really well. The system was a lot more balanced with Rashford there. You mentioned how Rashford was receiving the ball in the wide area, how he was running onto the flick-ons. Tactically, Rashford is better for Manchester United than both Martial and Sanchez on that left-hand side at the moment. And it's one of these things where it just seems like Rashford needs to be playing all the time because he's just so electric. You take those 2 goals. He scored nearly more goals against the top 6 sides for Manchester United in the Premier League than he has against the rest, which is pretty incredible. 9 against the rest and 7 against the top 6. So it's just these big games. Rashford just turns up, and both the goals were fantastic. Very clinical in his finishing once again. But it was about being tactical and doing the right things, running off Lukaku, staying wide. So simple, yet so effective. And I think that's why Rashford's got to start again. You look at Sevilla, their right-hand side in defensive sense looks a little bit open. It looks somewhere that United can attack. So it's got to be like someone like Marcus Rashford that's going to open that up and not look to come inside, but actually stay wide and receive the ball in those wide areas.
Before we go to Adam, who's going to start crying about Martial starting ahead of him, we already know this. I want to ask you, what's your thoughts on playing Rashford on the right-hand side? And could we see a Martial, Rashford, Lukaku forward 3? And what would that mean for Sanchez?
we won't see that. We hardly seen that before Sanchez.
That was for Dave, that was for Dave. He was just smiling at us now, so you might as well go at him because he just looks like a lost little child, doesn't he?
You were going to Mac? I thought it was Mac's time to shit.
Listen to what I said, David. I said, before we go to Mac, who's going to start crying, do you think that we might see Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side, and do you think we're going to see that forward three, and what does that mean for Sanchez, but also what does it mean for Juan Mata, another big game player at United?
No, I don't want to see him on the right. I want to see him on the left. I don't want Mac to be upset, though, because Mac was so happy with Ashley Young after the game at the weekend, and I felt like we connected for the first time ever. But no, I don't think Rashford he's good on the right, but he's better on the left. And it's one of these things where Juan Mata is so important in this team. You see what Mata does, and you see where he moves and stuff, and how he overloads that left-hand side. United are so left-heavy. They always attack down the left. And having Juan Mata, who also joins there, is one of the reasons why he does so well on the right, is because he actually gets involved on that left-hand side. You take the bicycle kick he nearly scored, but the second goal was so crucial. His movement off the ball to run in behind Lukaku. Again, another tactical instruction. I want to see Juan Mata. I want to see Marcus Rashford. That's my start two wingers. That's it.
All right, so Adam, where would that leave Anthony Martial then?
Jose actually said, which was interesting, that Juan Mata played instead of Pogba. So make of that what you will, Dave, in terms of calling him a winger, because he kind of said he played as part of the midfield, which I thought was interesting in Jose Mourinho's post-match comments. As for Marcus Rashford, I think the beauty with him, like as what has been said already, is he holds his line, his willingness to run in behind. The thing with Martial is, you know that he always wants to beat someone. He's always looking to pick the ball up, come inside, and he will skin you, but that's what he looks for more often than not. I still think we should be able to play Martial and Rashford in the same sort of style, but obviously the different styles of the players means Rashford at the moment, to some, is looking better, but it's a game-by-game basis. Martial's back in training today. That's what you want to hear. You want all of your best players fit. The game's coming 2-3 days after. I know Rashford came off as a sub, so that probably suggests he may start. And I wouldn't be totally against that at all. I'm not against Marcus Rashford starting. Look, Anthony Martial might be my favourite player and all that stuff. But you think I got anything against Marcus Rashford, you must be having an absolute laugh. The kid is a great talent. People have been talking nonsense about him all season about, he should be sent on loan, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. When the facts of it are, he's beat last season's goal tally. He's showing signs of improvement. He's impressing the manager, and he's a big part of our team. Why would he want to go anywhere else? It makes no sense. And in terms of this game against Sevilla, start him. He's obviously confident. He's obviously in form. You've seen it against Crystal Palace. He come off the bench. He was tearing them up. He was direct. He wasn't showing that lack of confidence that he had been showing for the weeks prior to that. So you've got to play him while he's confident. It would just be stupid. It'd be like if Martial had played on the weekend and scored. I wouldn't be saying now, swap him up and change Rashford in. You've got to play Rashford while he's in form. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense.
2 shots, 2 goals and all. I mean, I don't think there's much to pick between them. I think there's tactical reasons to play one over the other. The work rate of Rashford is a little bit higher than Martial. I think Martial's dribbling's a little bit higher than Rashford's. I think Martial's finishing and Rashford's finishing are pretty much on a par. I mean, the first goal that he scored, I don't think enough people are raving about it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The time that he bought himself.
It's like Ronaldo, mate.
Inside, it was unbelievable. So happy days for Marcus Rashford. I'm so glad that we've got players like this that are pulling us forward, and to win it with a homegrown player against Liverpool, it almost doesn't get better than that. But this is the Sevilla preview, so we are now going to talk about Sevilla, and we're going to have a talk about where we're going to come in the Champions League. If we do not progress past Sevilla, is that a disaster? Because for me, Champions League quarter-final stage was the minimum expectation for us. What's going to happen if we don't progress? What's going to happen if we do progress? David, talk to me. Is it all or nothing on the Champions League from Jose Mourinho?
I think it is and it isn't. I think that the result against Liverpool's kind of changed the season in terms of United are going to finish second. That's progress from finishing sixth last season. This Sevilla team, can get beat. Watching the Atletico Madrid game from a few weeks ago where Atletico won 5-2 away at Sevilla, they carved them open on the counter-attack. And if United do that, it's going to be quite simple. It's all about overloading the wide areas, getting the fullbacks high. Sevilla's 2 wingers don't really work very hard. So there's so much opportunity to attack this team. And Paul Pogba's out injured. Is that a blessing in disguise? It's really weird how United look better in this 4-4-1-1 without Paul Pogba as a central midfielder, with Scott McTominay, who's been fantastic playing in that position. You think of his performance against Liverpool, 5 interceptions, no play on the pitch, managed more. You combine that with Nemanja Matic, that's 2 ball winners. That's kind of what you need at the top level of European football. If you're defending and you're playing those 2 ball winners, similar to like Atletico Madrid, where we play 2 very aggressive defensive midfielders, you're going to get opportunities to break on Sevilla. And with Juan Mata, with Marcus Rashford, Lukaku and Sanchez as a front 4, that is a dangerous, dangerous combination. So United need to win this game. They have enough to win this game. The only thing that I can see if United fall down or they start to lose a bit of confidence, or Sevilla score a goal that's United need to score 2. But I think United can turn it on. I really think United are going to win this game.
You got to look at Dave as well. Is that before the Chelsea game, like when we went behind, I was never really confident in this team now. Not in Manchester United, in this team now.
Yeah.
And I think over the last couple of weeks, we've come from behind against Chelsea, from behind against Palace. We've beaten Liverpool. We've built up this kind of this confidence now that even if we do go behind on Tuesday against Sevilla, I'm more confident we've got what it takes to score 2 and turn it around now. And before the last couple of weeks, I didn't have that feeling about this side. So it was like what Jose said after the Palace game, like City had loads of these at the start of the season, and that built up that momentum for them. It's like those kind of wins can do that, and so much confidence going into this game, but we just need to perform and we need to hit them from the off.
Ben, what does it mean for Jose Mourinho if we don't manage to get past Sevilla this time around?
It's tough because I wouldn't say it's a failure, but it would be a massive missed opportunity, wouldn't it? When you look at the ties and you look at the potential of the next big game that we could have in the next round, it's a massively missed opportunity. That any game, I've said this all along, if we need a 1-0 win, I fancy Mourinho over anyone to get that 1-0 win. So I wasn't surprised. I think there was a lot of uproar when we came away from Seville with a 0-0 draw. Everyone's going on about the away goals, but the away goal means nothing if you do just win 1-0 and keep a clean sheet at home. And we have got the best guy in goal. Our defensive record is pretty decent, isn't it, when you think about it? I think we've got to keep 6 clean sheets out of the remaining games this season to equal a best for like 8, 9, 10, 11 years. So we're doing all right defensively, and we've got a lot of hard workers in the team that you can see us scraping, or not scraping, grabbing a 1-0 win, and as Mourinho says, controlling the game off the ball. To answer your question directly, it wouldn't be a disaster, but you'd expect us to go through, wouldn't you? And if we don't, then you can only imagine what the reaction is going to be from mainly the press, I think, personally. But for me, it's not a disaster, but I expect us fully to go through, and we'll be disappointed if we don't.
I also think there's a lot of United fans that would absolutely wig out if we don't manage to make it to the quarterfinals, even though that it's a competition that literally not one United fan will tell you we're going to win. People will see their arse with us going out royal, which is kind of mad in a way, but we all want to see progression. Quarterfinals is what I said. I think we've got to get to the quarterfinals, but dependent on the draw, we could find ourselves in a semi-final. Adam, what's your thought on that?
So, if we go out, it's a failure. We won the Europa League last year. Yes, to get to the last 16 is great, but look at our team, look at Sevilla, our manager, Sevilla, United, Sevilla. We should be going through, so it's a failure if we don't. It's as simple as that. If we get to the last day and we get knocked out...
Adam, would you say it's a failure by not winning the tie? So you're saying if we don't win the tie, it's a failure that we haven't won the tie, but it doesn't mean that we failed this season. It's not like, as fans, we go into any competition wanting to win.
Class this season as a failure, but what I would class it as is that, because as you move through a season, your objectives kind of change and you refocus your objectives. And if we've gone from dropping out of the title race very, very early doors, although there's been progression, we dropped out of it early doors, and we're out of the League Cup. We've only got the FA Cup to play for, and we get knocked out of the Champions League. That's not going to... The season is going to just end almost, because the FA Cup's got, 2 games? So it's hard to keep a positive feeling about a season that you've got nothing to play for in, and by March. And to me, that's a failure. That is an absolute failure. I wouldn't be saying, I'm Mourinho out and all that, but it's a failure, especially if you're playing Sevilla. If we're playing Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, and we get knocked out, you can take it on the chin a little bit easier, but playing Sevilla, we have to go through. It's that simple. This weekend, I know they rested a few players. They lost 2-0 against Valencia. So there's a team there that we can beat. Yes, they're very difficult at times, but we should be going through in this game, whether Pogba's fit or not, whether Martial's fit or not. We've shown that we've got the players to be able to do the job. As for the Champions League, like you say, get through to the last 8. We can beat anyone. Nobody will want to draw Manchester United. Nobody will want to draw a team managed by Jose Mourinho. And I think what he showed you against Liverpool over both legs, because I remember chatting to Dean on the way back thinking, and he was like, we're getting Liverpool in the Champions League. I can feel it. And I said, I hope that doesn't happen, because I would genuinely feel like we would go out because we've got those 2 results over them. I would feel like, we're probably going to go out.
Jurgen Klopp wouldn't change. His tactics, he never does.
Let me get to where I was going. But when you look at the 2 games that we've had against them, tactically, Jose Mourinho went to Anfield, got a clean sheet, got a draw, brought them to Old Trafford, got a win. We would go through with that. Do you know what I mean? And I think Mourinho gives us a chance, man. Mourinho gives us a chance against anybody. And we're Manchester United.
I'll be honest with you. There's only City I wouldn't want at the moment.
Every single game. It make a big difference, you know.
There's only City, because I think there's a little bit. Guardiola has got Jose's number with this current 11 that we've got. That might be different next season with a couple of signings, but I just feel like he's got his number a little bit at this moment, and I wouldn't be confident in the slightest with City. With everybody else, I think we could get it. Dave, you want to say something?
But with City, with Guardiola, with Mourinho, whenever Guardiola and Mourinho have been in the same league, there's always been one cup where Mourinho's beaten Guardiola. Guardiola usually wins the league, usually wins one of the cups, and then Mourinho will have beaten him in one of the trophies.
The League Cup?
It could have been the League Cup, but in Spain it was the King's Cup. The Mourinho, I think he got over him maybe in the 2nd season, and it was momentum built that Real Madrid side. But
have you frozen? I think David frozen. Making the best point he's ever made. Oh, he's back.
So,
you frozen, Dave. Right? What was the point you was making?
Oh, basically, it's time for Guardiola to get a bit of a beating from Mourinho, because there's only one competition left that they can play in, and there's always this one-overmanship for Mourinho in terms of Pep when they're in the same league. So I would take
Jose
City.
Also wins the league every time in his 2nd season. That looked likely this time around.
That's incorrect stats, though, mate, isn't it?
Fake stats. Wow, interesting. Right then, we're going to cut to a quick ad break. And that is for Dave's particular brand of calculator, so make sure you go and get yourselves one of those. Right, before we get into the starting 11s, I'm going to give you some of the comments that we've got. I didn't hear a word or anything that you said then. Which probably
Paul Pogba has not trained.
Aksha says, Marshall is twice the player. Rashford is and will be. Don't think a lot of people are going to agree with you there on that, my friend. And I don't think any of these lot would.
No.
All right. No. In Rainbows 08 says Rashford, one good game and everyone is hyped about him.
One good game? Remember he saved the day when Louis van Gaal was manager? He must be talented if you could pull that off.
Who's that?
One good game, Rashford, apparently. Josh Thomas with a bit more sense. He says Rashford is too good to drop on the left. JS says, I want Full-Time Devils to get to 1 million subs ASAP. How hilarious would it be if a United fan channel has more subs than the official City account? Well, Full-Time Devils currently has more actual fans than City have actual fans. I think there's a couple of opposition fans that are subscribed to that City channel. Remember, Full-Time Devils is the place where United fans come to watch Manchester United content. Rahul says 4-2-3-1 with Mata in the hole and Sanchez at right wing. I'm not sure you're ever going to see that, really. I would like to see Sanchez on the right, but I think he's always going to be Mata on the right with Sanchez in the middle, I think. Patrick says, I want to see Shaw over Young. I know he didn't stink against No Salad, but he's not a proper left-back. I know Dave's... Shut up, Dave. I'm going to come to you in a sec. Dave's getting ready to explode with excitement here, and I will come to him in a second. But one game every 4 that Ashley Young has where he's not terrible.
Shut
up! Doesn't for the others, does it? Surely.
Agenda. Jesus.
McLaren says #agenda. In Rainbows 08 says Lingard should start. Now, there's also been another crazy incident this weekend involving Jamie Carragher, which I don't really want to get into. But what I will say is,
Triple H it all over the place.
If you want to see Jamie Carragher talking about not losing his head, then check out last week's podcast ahead of the Liverpool game, where Jamie Carragher does call up and speak to us on our podcast. Yeah, it's this week's podcast, last Thursday. So go and check that out and listen to Jamie Carragher tell you how he doesn't lose his head. That's really interesting. Right then, let's get stuck into the starting 11s. Adam, you're miles ahead of everyone. I'm not even going to read the rest. So you might as well start, and let's see what your starting 11 is for Sevilla in the Champions League. Can I start humming the theme tune?
We WhatsApped it to Chris this morning off my new phone. If you didn't know, Samsung S9 is available soon.
Have you unboxed that on your channel, Mac?
No, not yet.
Oh, waiting for
I
that
missed
video,
the trick
mate.
though, because I realised the phone's not out yet.
Oh.
I think I'm the first ever with it. Maybe. Right. Good job. I'm good on the nick. Anyway. David De Gea in goal. Dave, you're going to love this back four.
Oh, hello.
Valencia.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Lindelof. Shaw.
Yes.
Listen, mate. Ashley Young had a very good game against No Salah on the weekend. But he's going to be tired. So let's get a proper defender in. Smalling got a very good game too. But Lindelof's been playing in Europe. So I'd like Lindelof to come in. And if you're going to take anyone out of the defence, Eric Bailly is the last man that you take out. So it's not a thing of, Smalling's crap, I'm throwing him out. Bailly and Lindelof with Shaw at left back. Young put in a big shift, Dave. You don't want him to start this game. Shut up.
You're mad, mate. Absolutely mad.
In midfield, I'm changing it now, Chris. Chris. No,
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't change the team after submitting it.
Yeah, but the team news come out, didn't it? Matic, McTominay.
You have to roll with what you're going with.
To start now. Alexis, Lukaku, Rashford. But Lingard and Mata have got to start. It's weird.
That's why it's tough to pick.
We've got a good team in it.
Dave, I know that you've not got the 11 that you wanted.
No, I submitted a complete 11 of Ashley Young playing every position. I'd play him after that performance against Mo Salah. Going forward, defensively,
Going
was
on like
brilliant.
Mo Salah's the best player in the world.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? What, 24 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League? That's pretty decent. And for Ashley Young to
Never had a
completely
shot on target in 2 games against us.
Yeah, because Ashley Young's been playing.
We're just ignoring that Matic made 10 tackles.
I was about to say, Matic, I think, dispossessed him more than anyone else on the pitch.
Young was number one. Young number one tackles, 6 out of 6, mate. Absolute killer. But in terms of my team,
number one.
Except
I'm going to get you a top one with number one tackle.
8 out of 10.
I didn't got 8 out of 8. Which stats are you hearing for here, mate? My official stat provider thinks that you're absolute rubbish, mate. In terms of my team, though, I'm going to go with the same.
Is his name Legolas by any chance?
You are?
Your stats provider.
Right, anyway, my team, David De Gea in goal, Antonio Valencia at right back, going to stick with Bailly and Smalling. Eric Bailly, like, unbelievable. It's interesting when you have a centre-back that's that good in your team, how the defence sort of raises its abilities in a way. Chris Smalling was really good, Valencia was aggressive, and of course Ashley Young was fantastic. So I think it's going to be huge. To have Eric Bailly fit, the own goal was really dodgy. Yeah, technically it was terrible. He was trying to clear it with his left foot, should have gone with his right. But apart from that, he was flawless in the game. Into midfield, Scott McTominay and Matic, simple as anything. And then the 3 behind Lukaku, Juan Mata, Alexis Sanchez, and of course Marcus Rashford. You just got to play that. I think defensively were brilliant. Going forward, they were really good. So why would you change it?
Because it's the Champions
League. Give us your team.
I'm the same as Dave, to be honest. I'm exactly the same as the Liverpool game. I've stuck with it. I think defensively we were really good, and teams have probably noticed that there is a bit of a weakness at left back with Ashley Young there. The way Matic came across and more like safeguarded him, it's like he's babysitting Ashley Young for most of the game. He's doubling up on the left-hand side. They couldn't get anywhere, Liverpool, which was brilliant. I think definitely Matic and McTominay work better as a pairing in a 4-2-3-1 than Pogba and Matic have done. I think the work rate within the team as well. Sanchez was running after every ball. You had Mata back defending and pushing the back line into a 5 at times as well. I think all in all, the team works really nicely. And I think Mata at the moment, the way he's playing, he's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet. The creativity gives you the workmanship. And he can also, he's just a little magician, isn't he? I tell you what, I had flashbacks of Wanfield when that ball was dinked over from Alexis. He was very, very unlucky. So yeah, I've gone with the exact same team. Why change it? Don't fix what ain't broke.
See, your face is saying you went with the same team, but the graphic that you sent and the team that you sent in had Pogba in instead of Matic. What are you lying for?
Yes,
I went for Matic and McTominay.
Tominay. Come on, Ben.
McTominay. Sorry, McTominay. I stumbled then, didn't I? It's like he lost the end of his name.
Are you saying that the all-knowing, the all-conquering producer Chris got something wrong? Because
right, do you know
he's
what?
the man with the
Yeah, that's a
graphics.
lie, that.
You're going to be sitting here with
on
dog
WhatsApp
ears in a
now.
second, mate. If
I'm
that's
looking
what
on
you want to
WhatsApp.
carry on. Righty then,
we?
let's talk about Sevilla.
Damn
Dave,
that
I'm going to come to you first.
Right
The
now.
first game was turd. Let's not be honest. I was trying to think of something nice to say, but it was turd. Talking to me about Sevilla.
They created a lot of chances, didn't they? I think, United gave Ava Benega far too much respect, and he dictated the game, to be quite honest. 10 chances created, most of any player this season in the Champions League. It was dominant, absolutely dominant. United, they had a weird approach where they were playing a 4-5-1 and they could have easily pressed them in midfield, but sat off, which was a bit weird, and I think Mourinho got it slightly wrong away in Sevilla, but I think David De Gea came up trumps. Someone like Lucas Moura should have probably had a hat-trick, but he didn't have that. You've got to take the Atletico Madrid game again, going back to that, how they bullied Eva Benega and how good they were against him. And I think this 4-4-1-1 with Sanchez and Lukaku playing a bit deeper, playing almost in midfield and looking to get on Benega and Zonzi is really going to help United. And it's going to be crucial. I think this is a big game for Alexis Sanchez playing as a second striker. And if he performs in this game, it'll kickstart his United career. Defensively, he's got a lot of responsibility. He did well against Liverpool, picking up Emre Can when he was on the ball. So it's going to be big, but it's all about disrupting Eva Benega, because if you get in his head, you start to kick him a little bit. He drops out the game. He doesn't fancy it. You take the first 5 minutes. I think Griezmann put a pretty nasty tackle on his ankles, and then he dropped out. It ended up being Diego Costa nicked the ball off him for the first goal when they had a short free kick in their own penalty area and scored. Because they sort of got physical with him and he started to double think his moves and things. Listen, he's a really good player. He's a sort of Europa League playmaker where Europa League will be the best player in the whole competition, but the Champions League is a different cup of tea in a way. And I think that if United get physical with him, if United stop him, that's Sevilla done. Simple as that.
Different cup of tea. Adam, do you think they're going to come at us? I think first 5 minutes we need to be really on our guard, because a single away goal and it's problems, isn't it?
But like I said earlier, I was thinking that after we drew 0-0 immediately, I think in my review I said, if they score the first goal at Old Trafford, uh-oh. But unless that first goal comes in the 89th minute, right now, I feel like even if they score the first goal, we have enough to do it. And with the confidence that we've built over the last few weeks, I think this is a big week for Manchester United. I know the last week has been very big. I didn't expect us to come out of the Chelsea, Liverpool and Palace games with full 9 points. Not going to lie. I'm not going to say I expected us to lose every game, but I expected us to drop points somewhere. So we've built up a run. We've built up momentum. Going into this game, we've got Sevilla now, Brighton this week. Win those 2 games. We've got a Champions League quarter-final and a semi-final at Wembley. And the season really starts to heat up. So I think we're going to hit the ground running after that Liverpool game, and we're gonna get an early goal and win the game comfortably. Sevilla are a very good side. They didn't start Ben Yedder against us, which is what surprised me. I don't know, Dave might have a different opinion about that, but I thought Ben Yedder was going to start, and I expect he will start in this game with him trying to hit us on the counter-attack. But they had their chances in Seville, so we definitely have to be aware of that. But providing we're going to win 3-0, I don't care. I know this ain't prediction time, but I'm feeling confident. Clip it up. Clip it up!
It's not what I'm laughing at. Everyone at home knows what I'm laughing at. Definitely do that. Right then.
What are you laughing at?
Never mind. Ben,
What are you laughing at?
how do you think they're going to set up? Do you think they're going to come for us for the first minute? Do you think they're going to try and keep it as 0-0 for as long as possible and try and lick a late one? What do you reckon is going to happen?
Lick a late one.
Lick a late one.
Lick a late one.
Yeah, that's worse than my McTominay. Sorry, producer Chris, you're the best, by the way. You're godlike. Just putting that out there. Typo. It's going to be one of those, isn't it? It's going to be a bit nervy for as long as we don't score. But as Max just said, there's nothing. Seville shouldn't have enough. They literally had so many good chances against us in the first leg, and so many different opportunities, and they couldn't put one away. So why should that be any difference at Old Trafford? We should be more of a force at Old Trafford, and we shouldn't be worrying. I think one pro for us. I don't think he's just Navas has travelled, or Jesus Navas, whatever you want to call him. I think he's out injured, the ex-City boy. So he's one less threat for them. I just don't see them having enough to score 2. and I can see us scoring 2-3. So I don't think they should have enough. And even if they come out and do grab a goal against us, as Adam said, that unity's there. And you didn't expect to see what happened against Palace. You expect the unexpected, and in the end, we had the passion, we had the determination to come out there and grab 3 before the end of the game. In the 91st minute, we ended up getting it. So I'm not worried at all. I think we've got a few goals in this game, and we shouldn't worry about Sevilla's attack. It's hardly Messi and the best players in the world up front for them, is there? So we should be all right.
Oh my God. What have you done? What has he done?
But they're not.
Oh my God.
They're getting past the hair.
Oh my God.
They're not getting
don't
past
make
the
it.
hair,
Don't dig when you're down there. Oh my days. Ben, what score is it going to be?
Fine. It's going to be 4-1 and we're cruising.
Oh, Jesus.
Chill out.
Jesus Navas is out, by the way.
I just said that. Wake up.
Adam, what score is it going to be?
Sevilla are going to score first. United are going to win 3-1.
I like that.
And then we're going to get Liverpool in the last 8. We're going to beat them over both legs. Then in the semi-finals, we're going to get Real Madrid. We're going to beat them bastards. And then in the final, we're going to beat City, and Jose's going to slap Pep. And then, just like in 1968, when City won the league, United won the European Cup, no one remembered City winning the league. It's happening again, baby.
Clip it up.
As much as my heart rate just rose as you said that, I don't actually think I could survive a Champions League final against City. I couldn't do it. I'd die. I'd just die. Oh my days. David, what score is it going to be?
I think 2-1. I think United may make it a little bit harder than it's supposed to be, but they'll go through. Get the job done.
It's the only sense.
2-1 would be nervy. 2-1 would be as nervy as that last Liverpool last 10 minutes and 20
better bring
minutes
some tissues with you, Howson.
Oh, in case it goes well. Pants off in the Stretford end time, yeah. Alrighty. Right then, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. And you lads, get your comments in below. Do you think we're getting through Sevilla? Do you expect us to get through Sevilla? Do you think Ben's an idiot? Like, I don't know, maybe you think Ben's an idiot.
I've had a nightmare.
Statman Dave's got some sort of weird obsession with Ashley Young. Does Adam need better Wi-Fi? All of that sort of stuff. Bang it in the comments. Let us know your score predictions, your team predictions.
Listen,
all
I've got
that
the
good
best
stuff.
dial up in town.
And we will see you for full match day coverage as usual tomorrow from Old Trafford. So come and join us. Hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. And remember, this is the fan channel that Manchester United fans watch, and that's why you're here. Thank you for watching. See you in a bit.